everyone, Crafting Vicky here with you, and today I'm here for the Take5art challenge and for the month of January 2021. Finally, 2020 will be over and behind us. Whew, what a year it has been. Very, very strange to say the least. But yeah, I'm sure that many of us are anxious for it to move on and to, you know, find another year, and hopefully this one will be a really good one for everyone. Wishing you all a lot of health. That's the main thing. I think with health, the rest comes. So yeah, and so for this Take 5, I'm starting off with sharing with you what my planner is for this year. Last year I used my Obonichi, and I wasn't sure if I was going to end up using it throughout the year, but I did, and I totally love it. So I decided to do the same this year, and I purchased myself one of their covers that was a special cover for this upcoming year, and I'm really loving all the textures and stuff. I don't know how it's gonna hold up, but I just love feeling it. It's just very, very nice. The inside is leather, so it's really fun. I've already set it up. I've got some of the stuff that I've received in Happy Mail in here. I've discovered Martina had sent me a SD card with a bunch of images that are free permission, and she had taken the time to do this, and I wanted to use it recently, and I couldn't find the SD card for the life of me. Like, I just couldn't find it, and I knew I hadn't thrown it away. I just couldn't find it, and I was really, really distraught. I tried to find it all over the place and just couldn't. And then when I undid my last Obonichi to put the stuff, transfer it to this one, I discovered that it was there. It was perfectly stored where it was supposed to be. So yeah, that's what happens when I store stuff away. I can't find it. If I'm too organized, I get lost. This is inspiration. There's something to entertain kitties. It's you drill a hole in the top of a cork, and you put some catnip inside, then you tie it around and you hang it from a doorknob, and supposedly cats will spend hours batting the toy around, and obviously if you lose it, well, it's no big deal because you can make another one fairly inexpensively. And this here, I thought it was a great idea for putting outside. It's a chandelier, but they made planters with it, and I just really thought it was pretty, so I've stuffed it back here. The first part of my journal, the months, I keep track of all the my subscribers and YouTube data, so that's part of that. And then what I discovered is I really love the weeks, because the weeks is where I usually put the meals that I'm gonna do. I put in the list of the groceries and how much it costs, and I try to put if there's to-dos, and I'm hoping this year to do what I saw that Kira does, and that is to put a picture that kind of represents the week, and maybe just put a little blurb about it, so that at the end of the year I have kind of a journal that tells me something. So, but for this week, you can see I put the word of the year ideas, and the prompts that Amira gave us, and some of the info. After that, for the days, what I don't usually use the days, so what I do is this year I've put in a list of all the seeds that I've got. So, and they're put in bins. So I've listed the bins and what's in each bin, so that when I'm looking for my seeds, I can actually find them. So I've got quite a big list of the different seeds, and So I'm prepared for this upcoming year. I've already have a few plants and stuff in my dining room, and I've transferred it. It's become pretty much like a greenhouse. That's also where, well, obviously we eat our meals, but it's also where I work, and that extra light and the plants, it just makes a big difference into my life. So even though we're stuck inside, it helped lift the mood. So I've discovered that I really like it. I've put the bookmarks that Marty had sent to me. Right now they're not holding anything, but what I use these pages, all these pages for, is usually when I'm watching a training of some sort. I will write down my notes in here, and then you've got the back. So I really love how it is. It really is amazing. This is a friction highlighter that you can erase. So when, like for example, if I'm making a list of the meals that I'm going to do in the week, once that meal is done, I usually cross it out. Or if I make a list of the items I need to do, once I've done them, I cross it out. And this bookmark here was sent by the lovely Rebecca from Dances with Pitbull. So it's been stuck in my planner ever since. And it had to move to this planner. So my word of the year, well, my past words have been, and I'm sorry guys if it's a very long video of chatting, I just wanted to share with you guys. And by the way, I have to thank you all for that left comments on my last video, card making video. Your kind words really lifted up my spirit and gave me made me want to do crafting again, and to I'm a lot more zen, which is one of the words of the year. So my different words, my past words were learning, and then 2020 was supposed to be experiences. Yeah, it was a year filled with experiences, not necessarily the ones I expected, but you know, it's still life lessons, and it's still experiences, I guess. But that's not exactly what I had expected when I wrote that word. So I wasn't sure what to put for this year. I would really love to become a better artist and to really own my skills and draw and just it's been a goal of mine to become a full-time artist. I would love that. I know it's not easy. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to do it, but you have to strive for stuff, and that's what I'm striving for. So I wanted words to kind of reflect that. But I also, so I went online and I checked out, there was a listing of 300 different type of words, and I noted down some that did resonate with me because of 2020. So relax was one of them, because I've been overworking and just exhausted. There's no other words to describe it. I had taken 3 weeks off for Christmas time. The first 2 weeks, the first week I was like done, like I didn't do much at all. There was just no energy in me. And the next week it got a little bit better, and then that comment kind of hit home. So then I was a bit down about that. This week I'm starting to feel better, but then next week is back to work. So one of the things that I need to do is to relax and to just chill. And one of the things that I want to do more as well is play. I want to be intentional about what I do. The possibilities is a big thing. Like I said, I would love to become an artist, so this is something that that I'm looking for, and the different options and that sort of thing. Dream, well, that goes with it. So alignment, all through the year 2020, I felt like I was not in alignment with my own self. Like there's a lot of stuff I like to do and I stopped doing them. I just didn't feel, my head was not aligned with my body. I was just not feeling good about it. So that's the big one. Balance, obviously balance between work and family and art and just everything. Emerge, well, going with the artist idea. Manifest, seeing stuff. One of the things I want to do is a vision board, so you know, to have the stuff manifest. Mindfulness, so that what I do, like, I'm really thinking about it and I'm in the present and I'm being mindful. Possibilities, oh, see, it's twice. So it's definitely one that's important to me. Shift, because that's, I want to shift where I was to where I want to be. Thrive as a human. I think we all want to thrive. Trust, and that's like trust in myself. Yeah, that's one. And then there's discover. And discover, well, discover what I can do, discover what I can become. And then, well, because it goes with the rest, it kind of goes with a lot of those things of, you know, relaxing and playing and being more mindful and more in the present. So finally, I decided to go with 3 different words: alignment, discover, and zen. So those are going to be my words. The prompts that were chosen by Amira, by the way, if you don't know what Take5art is, it's a challenge given by Kira started a group way back when, Take5, and there's 12 ladies, and we each have a month where we choose 5 prompts, and everybody creates something using those prompts. So it could be anything that you want to. If there's items that you don't have, you replace them. So for example, if somebody's saying to use paint and you don't have paint, well, you could use crayons or you could use whatever. The point of this is more to have fun and to get you out of what you usually do. So it really gives you a challenge. So the list of all the wonderful ladies are going to be in the description box below of my video. So click on the show more and you'll see the list, and you can click on the hyperlinks to get to their channel. So Amira chose for this time complementary color scheme plus black and white. So my colors, I decided were, because I had to go and look at the color wheel to see what would be complementary colors. So I decided to go with purple and yellow. So purple, yellow, black and white. A background technique, a focal image representing the new year for you. So I went on Splash and I found this image. It was a colored image. It's all kinds of art supplies, paintbrush, and inks and all kinds of things. So that represented my journey as an artist and what I want to do. So I changed the colors to black and white to fit with the prompts, and that's going to be my image. And then a second layer, same colors but different medium, and then one word for 2021. Well, I chose 3 words, so it's going to be a bit different, but that's what I'm going with. So I'm going to put this aside because I don't want to dirty it. So I've got my image. I've pulled out some different mediums. I'm going to be using some Seedless Preserve Distress ink. I've got the little word discover. I've pulled out some letters to write my words, and I've pulled out stencil and some watercolors as well as some oil pastels. So we shall see how that goes and how this comes together. But I'm using the wonderful book that I had purchased from Leanne in 2018. So it's been a while. It's been a while, and I've been going through this book, and I was finding that it was becoming very, very bulky, and I wasn't very inspired to play in it anymore because it wasn't falling flat anymore. I also discovered today when I was going to play in it that one of the signatures had become loose. So what I did is I removed that signature, and the pages that I had done, I glued on some of the other pages. So this way my book is closer to being finished and the pages are still together. So I'll be able to do a flip through of this book soon, because I'm almost, with the fact that I Frankensteined it and I removed some of the stuff that, because I never do that usually. I usually keep the book the way it is, and that's that. But this time around I decided to give myself permission to, you know, change the book to what would inspire me more. And I'm really, really glad that I did, because now I can finish using it, and I can put this in my with all my other journals that are finished, and I can move on to another journal. I like to have a finished, complete book. I know that a lot of artists don't, but I personally find it very satisfying when I finish a book. So, and I've been using it since 2018, so it's time that it's finished. So once this layout is done, I've got 2 more pages, spreads that I can do, and then that is it. So very happy with this decision that I made, and yeah, it's just I think it was a good choice, but not one, like I said, that I usually would have taken. So I've decided to go with this page because I'm going with yellow and purple. It kind of fit the yellow, not that I want to keep it this way, but the fact that I Frankensteined the book, I've got some extra paper, so I thought I was going to glue this here, and I would be left with a little bit of an edge of yellow, so that would be fitting. And then this would go well with the purple. And I found some cards that I've got a lot of Project Life cards and I don't use them, so I thought, why not use some this time around for the back of the pictures? Because what I want to do is cut this and put it on here, and I'm going to put this at the back. So one says dream big, and the other one says sometimes that thing you're looking for comes when you're not looking at all. So I thought that was a good thing fitting for what I'm doing. Now this little piece of floating paper, I thought I was just going to glue it here, and this way I don't have it floating about, and it's just going to make this spread a lot easier to do. So I gave myself permission, like I said, to change the book, which is not something I usually would have done, but it felt so satisfying. It's very, very strange, I have to admit, because I usually would not do that, and I should have. And I don't understand why I don't give myself permission to do stuff like that. I just don't know. I really don't. Don't get it. So I'm going to be placing this right away on the back of those cards, and I'm going to put my picture, because that's going to start off the page spread, and then I can take it from there. And of course I didn't do it straight. How typical. That's so typical. Somebody wrote recently on one of my videos that crooked is an art, and it really is. And it's an art that I've mastered. I would try to do crooked and I wouldn't be able to, but when I'm not trying, obviously that's what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna let's cut out the image and to see how it's gonna fit, and maybe I can round the corners of the card or not, depending on how the image fits, I guess. So I'm obviously gonna have to cut it into 2 pieces. going to cut them into 2 equal parts. Just because I think it's going to look better. Okay, so that's that. And then, because they're small, I think I can round the corners. So I'll round the corners before I continue. And I could have obviously removed the and just use the back of this, but I kind of wanted to keep it because it was coming with the journal. And I know it's not the color scheme, but I'm going with the fact that it's purple. Just imagine that most of this is purple, even though it's not. My book, my rules, and yeah, that's that. And I think I'm gonna use, I found, well, I was watching a video this morning and I was cutting out magazine. I found this word, discover, so I thought that was very fitting. And that I should put it with this. Discover. So, and the pockets are upside down, so you need to enter them this way and not that way. So it is what it is. Most of this journal has been used for the Take5art, so I think I have a few layouts that are not, but most of them are. And because it doesn't sit well, like right now the spread I'm doing is not so bad, but some of the other ones, the spread is going to be, it's at the back, so it's going to be really hard to work on. So I might just make a spread outside of the book and then just glue it in, like I did with those extra pages that were floating around after I've Frankensteined the last signature. So here we go. And it's a bit big, but the card was like that. Unless I cut a little bit off. Because that's so strange that this one would be bigger than the other. One fits perfectly, and the other one doesn't. Maybe Leanne cut some of the plastic to fit in the book, because it's a bit big. So just trim it a bit on both sides and hopefully make it fit. Yeah, that's better. And I think I want to put the word art on this one. That was not planned, but I think it would be fitting. And I've got these letters here, and I think I'm going to use these because they're black and white, and I think it's going to be good. So my husband's playing Mario, so you might be able to hear the noise from the Mario game. I've been, because I was so out of sort, my husband, I was trying to get into my Animal Crossing again and I couldn't. And I was just not feeling it, so my husband suggested that I play Mario, and so I've been really into Mario Odyssey. big time. I finished the game. I have to admit that I did do some of the stuff with assist mode on because it was just really hard to go through it. But yeah, I finished it, and now I'm doing the extra quests and just having fun with it. Okay, so that's the inside. I think that is already a good start. Now for this, I'm thinking I want to do watercolor first, and so that's what I'm gonna do. Now maybe I can put this here so that I've got access to those both pages. It's kind of strange to work with the left hand side on the right hand side, but anyway, that's what it's gonna be. So I'm using my Crawdad watercolor paints, and I've been having a lot of fun playing with watercolors, like a lot of fun. Who knew that I would play with watercolors so much? So the thing is, I'm not sure which yellow I want, and I do know what my purples are because I had done them. However, I never did the yellows, so let's swatch those so that we can know which one we want to use. So this is this one. I don't know why I never swatched this. And this one has some green paint in it, but I think I like that one more. There's this one as well, but I think that one is too brown. Yeah, too much brown in it. I want something bright and fun, so I'm gonna go with this one here. I'm just gonna have fun with it, and just actually that's not at all what I wanted to do. I wanted to put white gesso on top so that I was gonna hide the lines and help the paper, prevent the paper from buckling like it just did. And I forgot. Whoops. That's what happens. Too much talking, not enough paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay, so now this lifted because of that. I'm just gonna put this way, and let's start again, but this time with the white gesso. Got my clear gesso. Where's my white gesso? Here it is. And I'm just gonna go and get another little tub of water, and I'll be right back. So I'm back. Just put white gesso on here and cover up those lines so that these are just the back of shipping label, UPS shipping label. People know at work that I keep everything, so they keep those for me, and I use them to make in my art like this. They make really great paper to put between. And I've got a cat here, obviously, because cats, yep, that's what happens. Okay. Put a bit more. I don't mind that I see some of the lines, but I don't want the biggest part of the lines to show through. And I also, like I said, I don't want the paper to buckle with the water, so this should help. I don't understand why I never thought of doing what I just did to the book. I see Leanne do it all the time with her books. I just couldn't do it. But it feels a lot better because it's a lot less thick now. Because obviously as I add stuff to the altered book, it becomes thicker and harder to manage. So it's a lot easier when you do what I just did and remove some of those extra pages. And I've kept the pages so I can use them on something else, but at least not. And I can actually probably use them on the back for the 2 layouts that I've got left to do, because they're just the right size, obviously, since they come from the book. So it's probably what I'm gonna do. Try not to put too much on it, but enough, like I said, to cover most of the grid. Because you never know what you're going to use the book for, so when you make an altered book you use all kinds of different papers, but depending on the page that you decide to do, sometimes it fits, sometimes it doesn't. And in this case the grid is not working for me. Okay, so I'm going to put my paintbrush in here, put my gesso away, and just dry this off a bit, and then go back to my yellow. You have to be careful not to heat the plastic. Okay, I think that's dry enough. I'm going to keep the heat gun close by, just in case I want to use it. Okay, and let's go back to the yellow. I love yellow and purple. Just find yellow very bright and sunshiny, and I want my new year to be sunshiny and bright, and just, yeah. And hopefully soon we will be able to travel again. We'd only started traveling, and we were supposed to go to Jamaica. That trip never happened because of COVID, because it was canceled, the flight. And anyway, I wouldn't have gone because I wouldn't have wanted to be stuck somewhere. It's kind of hard to imagine the ones that are going right now to the south or wherever. I don't really get it, because why would you put yourself in harm's way on purpose and have the possibility of getting that disease? I don't know. It's one thing to you know, to catch it because you caught it and not, but it's a different thing to actually go traveling and partying, because there's been comments that some Quebecers have been going south and partying during the Christmas holidays, and then obviously the last time around COVID cases were really bad after school holidays, so in the month of March, and so it's kind of scary. Hopefully it's not gonna happen, because now we're all stuck inside because of winter here, so it's it really makes it more difficult to see people, because I don't know that inside there's more chance of catching that thing. Oh yeah. And even if I'm not in the age group that's the most affected, or you never know. So if I can avoid it, I'm gonna try to avoid getting that thing. Okay, so that's my first medium. Is watercolor, and I'm going to use the distress ink on top, so just need to dry this off a bit. I can move this one here while the other one is drying. Not very patient, so it has to go fast, because obviously you could let it dry, but I don't want to, and I don't want to make an extra mess just for the fun of it. So I pulled out some of my stencils because I don't use them often enough, and I'm thinking of using this one to make my background pattern. So I'm going to be using this shape here, and I need to move my water before I make a mess. I use one of those little daubers. I love my little plastic containers. They really make my life a lot easier now, and it just makes it a lot brighter in front of me, and just so much easier to find my stuff versus before, because before it was kind of hidden. And I still have all my little boxes and stuff like that, but just not for the tools that I use like all the time. So obviously on yellow it's not coming out the purple that I thought it was, but it's still the color scheme. So it's still supposed to be purple. So that's that one. I'm going to move this aside because I don't think I'm going to need it anymore. And then I can put this aside a little bit and then bring this back. So that's that, and I think I want to do something else. I'm thinking of stamping maybe. Thinking I'd like to do some stamping. on this. So I'm gonna pull out my ink pad, my archival ink, and got some timples. I'm pretty sure I've got some text and stuff in here. And of course, that's not the one I pulled out. So let's try this again. I've got big binders where I put all my things. No, that's not the one either. There's one last one. Well, actually, there's two, and I just saw a little stamp fly by. I just bought myself some of the big binders to store the timples because because these don't have a bottom, so the small dies, when they come undone, they just fall off and then you lose them. So I'm thinking that it's going to be better to have that. And I think I'm just going to use this here and just some of it. Just for added interest. Okay, so that's that. And what else? Yep, everything is falling. Now there's going to be my lettering, my letters. I'm thinking I probably would like to put some washi tape or something. I do have this here. Wait. Somebody sent me this and I haven't used it because of course I'm hoarding. But I've got these wonderful borders. And those would be very cool with this. I'm going to use some of those. I'm going to hide the seam here behind one of them. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's kind of put this in the book, because this way it's going to be, I think now we've worked it enough that I can glue it in and work from that point on in the book directly, so that I can see the double spread. Otherwise it's a bit hard for me to imagine it. I really don't want my page to come undone, so I don't want it to glue on the other one, so just put that there. I love the texture of that it gave to the paper, that the gesso gave to the paper. It's really nice. Feels almost leathery. Okay, just trying to align this with the top, which is not my forte. As I said, I usually glue everything crooked, so trying not to be too crooked. Well, it's gonna go like that. And I will just cut the little top. And we'll see a bit more of the border at the bottom, and that's all good. Okay, so that's this. And I think I want to put some more of this border because it's just so much fun. Have these design as well. Actually, I'm thinking I could put okay, so my word is supposed to fit perfectly. I just need to make sure that I spell it out properly. And so let's start with the end and move up. This way I'm sure it's gonna fit. It's 9 letters, and so it should fit perfectly. And oh, I just need to move this just a tiny bit. Wonder if I can. I hope so. Otherwise I'm going to move my letters a bit. Because if I did this right at the edge, back to my letters. Perfectly. I don't want that middle part. Okay. Alignment. Perfect. Then I could put this cover here. Now, I want to use this here as my second medium, and I'm thinking I want to just do little mark making. I'm not sure the yellow is gonna show. No. Put my Discover here. I'm glad I'm using my letters. I don't use them enough. So this is a great reason to use them. Discover. And I can write the word Zen here. I thought I had enough ease, and I guess I don't. Well, we're gonna make one. So, trying to make it the same length as what I need. Close enough. And so this, like that. And be fun to use up one full sheet. Actually, I think I can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoops. Whoops, upside down. Okay, and we've used a full sheet. Yay! Of something I was hoarding, so that's good. Kind of like that. I like the fact that it fits almost perfectly. And now it really annoys me that there's no E left. Whoops. It just came undone. Okay, so that M is not working out. You know what? I just had an idea. Because this is basically what I want to do, is discover my own I guess I had those letters for too long. The glue is coming undone. My own art. Okay, why is the center part not going away? My own art. So this video is probably very, very long, and but it's a real journaling session, art journaling session. I really like the fact that I've used those borders that I've had and just hoard and not used. That's very cool. I'm thinking I want to do some what is this? No. I want to go around my letters. And I just have to be careful with that water. just want to kind of make them pop a bit more, the letters. I really love the feel of this page, the texture and how it's just so smooth and leathery and just yummy. Sometimes because of the medium it stops running, but most of the time these pens can write on top of everything. These are from Artline Smooth Ballpoint, only available, I only found them available in Australia, and I had done an exchange with a fellow crafter. I'd sent her some items in exchange for her sending me those pens. Yeah, I like it better. Just have to add that extra little something. I'm just really in the moment. That's probably why I'm not talking much. I'm enjoying the process of this journaling. I don't know why I don't do it more often, the art journaling. It's just very satisfying. I just realized that it's whenever I'm over the oil pastel that my pen is having difficulty. It's kind of normal because it's oily. It's a little something at the top and at the bottom. And this is where this is Take5art, January 2021, and we're presently December 30th, 2020. words for the year 2021. My hand is cramping up. Okay, so okay, so this is my little words for me myself, and I'm loving how this page turned out. Not at all what I was expecting. I didn't really know what to expect, I guess, but it's perfect. It's exactly what I needed and what this book needed. So 2 more layouts and this book will be finished and ready for flip through. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this process. Go and check out all the lovely ladies in the description box below, and just sending you all lots of love, happiness, health for 2021. All the best. Bye.